Hello, YouTube. This is Absolute Zero, Defender of the Universe, and I'm joined with my good friend, YT.
Andrew Manheimer, at SuperflySuperY on Twitter.
Yes, and today for you guys, I have the first installment of what's going to be a series of classic hip-hop reviews. I'm not going to limit it to traditional classics. I'm also going to have lesser known albums and things that I feel are great albums that are underappreciated or very appreciated. And if you don't have a familiarity with hip hop, hopefully this will give you a great base to go find some super dope music. And today, the first album that we have on the list for discussion is 2006 Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. I just want to give a little historical context for this album. Came out 2006, like same year as Hip Hop is Dead. Like, you know, the biggest Jay-Z released Kingdom Come that year. It's kind of an interesting spot for hip hop because I feel like at the time of its release, there wasn't a lot of lyrical, you know, traditional hip hop in the market. You know, I feel like it was right after we're getting over the bling era and the snap music. You know what I mean? So the sounds that are in the mainstream audience are not anything like Lupe Fiasco. So it's definitely interesting. Actually, right before the album dropped, he ended up having a version of the album leak, and so then the album got shelved. It was kind of interesting though, because he did a remix of the Kanye West song, Jesus Walks, and he did like Muhammad Walks. And apparently that ended up making it to Kanye West. That's kind of what led him into getting the feature on Touch the Sky. Off the success of Touch the Sky, the label had like the Kick Push video already completed. They saw the popularity and they just like snapped on the opportunity and released that video early. And basically like it's kind of like the rest is history, because at that point there was not really a hip hop skateboard song.
Yeah.
You know, like that was like the first one, you know what I mean? Like it was like at that point it wasn't cool to be a skateboarder in hip hop. Like you can't even be black and be a skateboarder, you know what I mean? Like not obviously you can, but I mean like within the culture of hip hop it was kind of like frowned on for whatever reason. But
yeah, 2006 when that came out, it was very unique.
Yeah,
like if that same song came out today,
it wouldn't have been as standout. It was you know, it was like smooth, jazzy, like it was about skateboarding, like still not like something super common for like a hip hop track.
This is kind of right in the middle of that bling bling platinum era, sort of, and Soulja Boy wouldn't come out till 2007. You know, so this was definitely something different. And Lupe Fiasco, it was crazy because I remember I was 18, 19 years old when this came out, and I was at Auburn, which is close to Atlanta, so the snap movement, D4L, Soulja Boy eventually would become very popular. Them Franchise Boys, right? That was all very popular. So when this album came out, it was a huge breath of fresh air. Yeah. At least I thought. Yeah. You know, from my personal perspective. I mean, I was listening to a lot of stuff from the Justice League, Little Brother, Ninth Wonder, The Away Team. But Lupe Fiasco, when that came out, kind of a major release, it was different from what you heard on the radio. Absolutely.
Yeah, this was actually like, for me personally, I think I was like 14 when this came out. Up to that point, I really had only listened to like older hip hop. Like this was like the first new hip hop album that I was really like, yo, this is super dope. You know, like not that there weren't, you know, and dope hip hop albums coming out in that era, but you know, none of them had like made it to me yet. So I don't know. I feel like this album definitely had an impact on me and my like listening habits and like just my development of like how I appreciate music.
Was this the first time that you had maybe purchased an album and it like you purchased it maybe the week or two when it came out, right?
Yeah.
And then you really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, you could go back and you could listen to a Ready to Die, a Reasonable Doubt, and you know that already has the stamp that these are classic albums.
Yeah, because
this is the first time where you go to the store and you buy the classic album without knowing it's a classic.
Well, I think for me, like the thing is like I guess I'm gonna give you this explanation now. When I was young, I didn't like hip hop at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did not like it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was super cliche. But I only really listened to radio music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So outside of like Outkast and DMX, you know what I mean? I really didn't feel like oh, hip hop's something that I listen to. I was like mostly listening to like jazz. You know what I mean? Like I was like listening to like Miles Davis and Coltrane all day. So what ended up happening is my uncle put me onto Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. And
like that kind of like was the first thing that exposed me to like hip hop can be good. Like I know it's gonna sound bad, but so I like started by listening to like Wu-Tang Clan and like Tribe Called Quest, and like from there, because you know it's similar to like what I already liked. And so then I started branching out to the roots, and then I started like, you know, with all this older music, and then so Food and Liquor kind of was like the first like modern, you know, like hip hop album that I really listened to and enjoyed and loved it, you know.
Right. It was. I'm a little older than you, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly the first one that came out, modern hip hop album that I enjoyed. You know, I got Faba and I. He got Stankonia. You know, we enjoyed Outkast. Speaker Box, Love Below, The College Dropout.
Yeah.
You know, so those were kind of coming out around this time, and I remember kind of in my circle, College Dropout was kind of like the standard.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, man, this is a classic album. And then I remember I got Food and Liquor. And I told like my friends, like I was the first one to get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this is better. I'm like, the beats are better, he raps better, and they were like, blasphemy. No way. Because like I remember, so Lupe, you kind of gave a good, you know, backstory. I didn't know all of that, but when I first heard Lupe, it was on Touch the Sky, which I think was kind of his introduction to the mainstream.
Yeah.
And he has a solid verse.
Yeah.
It's nothing
ground
right,
shaking.
but that I don't think that's not a super lyrical song. That's just a feel good song. So you're like, okay, Lupe Fiasco comes out with Kick Push. It's really unique, but still the rhyme schemes are pretty simple. It's not like a super. It's very. It's good to listen to. Yeah,
but it's not like his most like complex.
No, especially compared to stuff he does now. No way. Yeah. So but like so then I saw the title of the album, Food and Liquor, and I just assumed, okay, this is a skateboard guy. He's probably gonna just talk about having a good time, a few stories. I put this one in, and my mind was just blown. I was definitely exceeded my expectations. Like
I guess let's use this as a segue. Oh no, you're great to like get into talking about the actual album, Food and Liquor. I'm gonna begin by saying like I have like an obvious bias towards the album, and top to bottom, this is like one of my favorite albums ever. Probably the most listened to album ever for me. You know what I mean? I don't skip any tracks from the beginning to the end. I listen to it. Even the outro that is unnecessarily long and shouts out everyone. And I also always wondered if J-Rock that he mentions on there is the same J-Rock from Top Dog. Because he shouts him out like 2 or 3 times in that album. And I always wonder, like, when I hear that, is that the same
person. I bet it is, because J-Rock would come out not that long. J-Rock's that song Ghetto, produced by Will.i.am featuring Wayne, came out in like 08, 09.
Yeah.
And so this album came out in 06. So J-Rock had, you know, I would think some momentum. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if somebody in the comments knows, you should definitely tell me that. But
I bet it is. I'm gonna put money that it is.
You're gonna put money that it is. If
not, I'll look down. But J-Rock came out. You know, J-Rock's been out for a while.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see if he drops that album. But yeah. So like the beginning of the album is this poem. It's just like his sister, and it basically outlines the entirety of what the album's about. It's just, you know, it's like a top-down view of like the hood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as opposed to something like Good Kid, Mad City, which is like first person, this is more like holistic. This is more like looking at the system. This is more like the structure of everything. And it's kind of funny too, because like on the one hand, like a lot of people prefer the cool, and like one of the elements that separates this from the cool is it's a story, right? It has somewhere it's going. It has a direct message, as opposed to this, which is just like a collection of songs around a centralized themes.
Yeah.
But in a lot of the songs on this album, he sets up the messages of the cool. Like the most obvious one is the track "The Cool," right? Because like what he's kind of saying in like all of this is that the bad stuff, you know, it's like the devil is like crafty. Like all the bad stuff is what we see as being cool, you know. Right. So he sets up those themes a lot in this album, and it almost like it like carries over into the next one. I don't know if you ever caught that.
Definitely. Well, we saw. I actually went and saw him perform in Atlanta after this. A couple months after Food and Liquor came out, and he was talking about the album at the concert.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
that's
awesome.
Crazy.
Because he was like, "I'm gonna do the song The Cool, and y'all wait in about a year." Get the cool. It was a dope concert. This was actually, I think it was the first show he did after his dad had passed away.
Oh, wow.
And he was like channeling all that passion in his performance.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But yeah, he was talking about the cool. Yeah. And a lot of, I'm like you though. I like Food and Liquor better than the Cool. Both are great. I would say both are classic albums. But I do like Food and Liquor better. What I was thinking about when you were comparing this to Good Kid, Mad City, it almost reminded me of kind of how people see Biggie and Tupac. Whereas Tupac's more the Lupe Fiasco and Biggie's more the Kendrick Lamar. One's like giving you the first person. This is kind of what's going on.
That's actually I've never thought about it like that. But that's very like apt. Even with the new stuff, like with the new album, like even though there was a first person story, it was also still more of a top down system. And obviously, I'm talking about Tetsuo and Youth. Right. If you do not know.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother discussion. But I guess we could just like run through these tracks. The Real, it just perfectly describes the album. Like the first two tracks, the intro and Real, people are searching for something real to latch on to. We want something real like in the music too, you know, as opposed to getting all this fake music, you know, and fake lives and like fake morals and like I don't know, like that's such a deep concept, and to give that message without being preachy, because I think something that he fell into like the trap of somewhere around like post lasers, you know, is he started telling you kind of like how you should think. You know what I mean? But
go buy a Camry. Be fiscally responsible.
Yeah. Like don't do this, or don't call women bitches, or like. And I feel like that's never the right way to like approach, you know, a song that has a message. I feel like the way he did it in this album is he just presented, the situation as they are. And just like by posing his perspective, you already know that like how you should feel about it, because it's just so, it's just kind of like obvious, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not, it doesn't sound preachy.
Well, I think one thing, the reason that this may be his best album, and he may never top this for me, is that he's kind of, in a way, he's underdog Lupe Fiasco on this album.
Yeah.
He's not big, bad, super lyrical Lupe Fiasco. I mean, this is the dude who got a shot on Late Registration on that third verse and put out the Kick Push video, and, the Chicago rapper, and he just blew my mind at this time. Yeah. But now when I buy Lupe Fiasco, I'm like, okay, well, what's it gonna be? Right? So it's gonna be hard to top that. But yeah, real. I think listeners, if they haven't heard this album, they may put in Real, and they may think that this is one of the weaker tracks in terms of just lyrics. But I think you have to realize the time, 2006, when it really was. I mean, the radio, not to say that it isn't today, but it really was just saturated with just money, cars, women, right? I think hip-hop's in a better state today.
It is way better.
Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole.
2015 I'm gonna say this it's gonna be better than 93. Like in a couple of years, they're gonna like quote this if I'm wrong. But I think that like when we look back at this year has been like mind-shatteringly good in terms of like the quality of hip hop that we've gotten. But at this time, we're like record sales are high. This is like the beginning of when the internet starts sucking out the money. So like it was just like the glamour and the glitz was just like at an all-time high. You know what I mean?
People weren't really listening to lyrics. I had this debate with so many people. I remember I would tell people Lupe Fiasco is a better rapper than Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Now, if I told you that now, you'd go, of course. But I had to have this debate because at this 2006, 2007, there's Jay-Z right here retired. He would come back.
Yeah.
But Lil Wayne was going around saying he was the best rapper alive, and millions were buying that. Yeah. Millions of people were like, so that if you wanted lyricism, you would go to Wayne. Which I'm fine with Wayne, but he is not on the level of Lupe Fiasco. Right. So Real is it's an important song.
Yeah, dude, like you're speaking to me, but like I'm the guy who's trying to defend Wu-Tang Clan to a group of high school kids who are like Wayne, and like Wayne is today? Like this in 2006. Yeah, like you know what I mean. So it's like I was like the only kid, who's like Wayne is not like. I don't know. I feel like I've like hated Wayne fans for a long time.
Wayne's that could be another like I would love to do a show on like 05 to 09 why Wayne was the best rapper. I mean, it was like I was shocked, and it was at the point where I was like, maybe I need to sit down and really listen because everybody's saying he's the best rapper alive, and I think he's entertaining. But that's another.
Well, actually, we're gonna review the Carter 1 on Wednesday. So.
Oh, who are you doing that with?
I'm doing that with a friend who goes by Network as like. He's a rapper too, but
that would be good.
Yeah, so we're gonna explain what like his importance to.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna be fair.
So Real might be. You said there were no bad songs, so I agree with that. Real. My Southern is coming out. Real might be one of the weaker tracks, but no, it doesn't have to be that strong. It's just kind of a setup song.
This is like a strong track to me. What he was saying, struggle is just a sign that God loves you. So on the low being poor makes
it's humble. Great.
Like the lines are inspiring to me. Like this was definitely not the low. I think that there's some lows and some tracks that didn't age as well for me, but I'll probably just like get to them in order.
Well, when I mean by low, I mean like the worst player on the Dream Team. Like there are no bad songs on here. There is no workout plan. on this album. You know, there's no, like, people say that in Ready to Die, Biggie's skit where he's having sex, and they're like, why is this on here? There's nothing on here that's like, why is it on here? But I think it's, Real is in a good place. Then it goes to
very timely song.
Just Might Be
Okay. It actually is pretty funny because on the original leaked version, basically it personifies the ghetto. He's like, the game is the belly of a beast, blunts for fingers and hollow tips for teeth. He does that again on this song, which might be why I didn't keep that song, because some of the songs got kept, some of them. And so like he does that on this song again, and I feel like that's like an interesting thing that he did at the time, you know, him personally. Kick Push,
obviously
the song that needs no introduction, honestly. The beat is just classic.
I Gotcha, produced by the Neptunes, right?
Yeah.
That song,
I feel like
it's good. There was a video. It was a single.
Was there a video?
Yeah.
I've never even seen the video.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about that song is the part of the song where he's talking about where he keeps his bars. Like he's like, that's where I keep my bars, like bathtub edges, my ivories and my doves, my Levi's and my zesses.
What's that?
I have no idea. Did I run out of memory?
Lupe, it is crazy how he makes those connections. I think I know what you're talking about on I Gotcha, where he's like, I'd be on my green like Irish Springs. Track 6, the instrumental. That's what, like, if I were telling someone to listen, your mind, well, yours was, so, but I would say your mind may not be blown the first 5 tracks, but the instrumental is when you really get to see, in my opinion, what Lupe Fiasco can do as an artist. The instrumental was like the first one where it kind of grabbed me. I would love to hear that song because he's talking about television. Right? I'd love to hear that song, like a 2015 one. I was thinking about this on the way over with the phone. You know, because I mean, go out anywhere and people are, I mean, we have, you know, if you hear the song, he talks about the box, and now we have smaller rectangles. The rectangle.
The rectangle.
Dude.
The rectangle, that's hilarious.
But
I feel like for me, this song was like great, like the first time I heard it, and like growing up and just trying to decipher what it meant, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was like one of the harder songs to like comprehend. You know, I don't got Rap Genius, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have Rap Genius.
I have to be like trying to like figure out what the hell is this guy talking about. And then when I kind of figured it out, but like I feel like with age and time, like I feel like the track didn't age as well for me. I feel like I don't have any mysteries that, or like, you know what I mean? I feel like since the premise of what he's saying is so like, you know what I mean, you're being programmed by TV and stuff. Like I feel like there's not enough bars that I could like get that energy from.
Sure,
once you that feeling,
I can see that definitely. I guess I'm just, you know, I'm thinking about the first time that I heard it, and it's not that abstract. It doesn't take like that much. You don't need Rap Genius to figure this one out. But just the feeling and the passion and the instrumental and the hook, you know, I didn't even want to watch TV after after hearing this song. I was like, man, no way. But that's for me. That's when the album picks up.
Yeah, because the next track, He Said, She Said, right?
Yeah, probably one of my favorite tracks on the entire album.
I think the first time I heard that song, I might have cried. I'm not gonna lie.
Because
it's like my like life story right there. Like it was like, I mean, I'm sure it's, you know, it's not that uncommon. You know what I mean? I think to experience just like the story of like you know, a kid who doesn't have like a father, and it's just like that, like the chorus and the way they, you know, it flips it from the mother's perspective, and then he alters the chorus when it's like the kid's perspective. It's like mind blowing. It's like this, I want you to be a father and you don't even bother. It's just like so real, and it's just like showing the impact, you know, on this kid's life. And through that, you know what I mean, he's not saying like oh, fathers take care of your kids, you know what I mean, like he's like just giving you that story from like how it really feels, and you can draw your own conclusions. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that is like the sign of like great art. You know what I mean? At least a art that's like meant to like inform or like, you know, shape your opinion or like get someone to like actually change their views on something.
It is, yeah, and it's just a story. I mean, it's one story, but it can relate to so many people, and it's way better than just a statistic of how many single parent households, you know, like, it's. I listened to this, I think it was like a year ago, and I almost cried. I mean, this is probably my favorite. It is tied. I have two favorite tracks on this album, but it is a great one. I mean,
it's up there. Like it's pretty up there.
It's great.
And introduce the next track. It's
Sunshine. This is the ultimate, like, if you're dating someone, and this is the song, right? I mean, this was a nice, smooth. Look, does Lupe do any songs like this anymore? Like, this was just nice.
He kind of had one like that. That one that's like in a dotted line on the new one. It's like, you look just like I wanna be.
Yeah, but that's on some
sacred.
That's crazy. I need a Rap Genius for that one. I don't need Rap Genius for this. Like, and when he says we can't trust what each other says for at least for a month or two, how true is that?
Yeah.
You're dating someone. That's just like, you can't. A month, maybe two.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna present themselves. They're gonna present like everything that's great about them.
Yeah.
And then you don't find out. And he's like, when he talks about like getting dressed for it, you know, for a date. I mean, this is the good song.
Or like driving home with the chick, and he's like, and then she winds down the window just in case I was a schizo. Like, that's just like a hilarious line.
He's you still see like lyrical. He doesn't dumb it. I feel like he took. And I'm only saying dumb it down because it's Lupe Fiasco and it's a song, Dumb It Down. But like on Kick Push, going back, he almost dumbed that down a little bit. He fell on his hip, then busted his lip for a week. He had to talk with it was okay. But there were no real standout lines like you kind of get in a Sunshine. You know? And I only said Dumb It Down because it's Lupe and he has a song called Dumb It Down. But Daydreaming
is interesting because one, he won a Grammy for this song, which I feel like is strange. Actually, I think that
it's strange.
Well, I feel like it's out of all, like, I'm pretty sure it's like this only Grammy award winning song. And I think, you know what I mean? It's just like, to me, I don't know. Like, I could see how it could win a Grammy because it's comparable to like in my mind in a strange little way.
This is way better. Well, I've got a lot of opinions with but to me, I mean, it's the Grammys.
Yeah,
you know, like you were saying, like they denied Good Kid, Mad City, but they gave 2 Grammys. Like, it's like if this wins a Grammy, I'm actually kind of happy for it. I'm like, okay, good.
Like, he got one. It's just like the fact that Diddy owns a Grammy is just like.
Oh yeah,
he had like Best Album of the Year. Yes.
Diddy's cool, but Wu-Tang is for the children. You remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When ODB,
I think it was like the Source Awards or something.
Was that that wasn't the Grammys? Was it?
Was the Grammys. Okay. Yeah. But you know, like I heard, like there's over 100 of those television award shows.
There's a lot of
actually kind of stupid.
I'm fine with Daydreaming winning. This one. I'm fine with Daydreaming winning a Grammy. This one, I liked when I heard it on the album. Then it became a single, had the big video, and everybody liked it. And I'm just being honest here. When everybody liked it, I was like, it's kind of. I don't know why.
Kind of strange too, because Daydreaming, it also kind of set up the cool too. Yeah. Because it talked about, you know, like all the bad things are cool. You know what I mean? And so it was kind of
Even says, "Come on, everybody, let's make cocaine cool."
Yeah, we need a few more half-baked live
in the pool.
Yeah.
Where's champagne? We need champagne. I'm probably butchering.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
Daydreaming, so
yeah, it's very. I feel like the hook is also very. Like, I was listening to it today, and like, I've never heard someone set up a hook like that. It's like old timey, like the backup vocals are this weird style, like some like 1920s recording or like style. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just in like the way they set up the harmonies for the song, like, and the way the male vocals work in the background. Yeah, it's a very strange song. It's a very weird song. It's like an outlier. I've never heard a hook like that.
There's like the contrast because it's so harsh when it comes in. You know, it's like daydream. But then when it drops and when it comes in, the verses are so harsh. So I like that. You know, because oftentimes we just kind of go about our day, and I could imagine like being in the music industry at this time, like shooting videos, just like, come on, let's make cocaine cool. We need some cars, we need some champagne, just kind of going about it. But then he provides that perspective, you know, and in the verses, and it's like the beat changes to fit the verses, and then it breaks down when he says, but not too loud because the baby's sleeping. Wonder if he knows what the world is. There's a great song, very well produced song.
And then a song which, like, to this day I still am not like 100% on board with this song. Like, it's a dope song, but it's just kind of weird. The Cool, like. Or Cool. What is it?
I have The Cool.
The Cool? Yeah.
I could get it.
I think it's The Cool. But it's a story of a drug dealer who dies, and then he comes back and he like resurrects himself and comes back to the same block. And it's just like, I don't know, like, I guess it's just to show that it's like, you know, he dies and nothing changes. It's like the same thing. It's like his death or life is like almost like it's meaningless. You know what I mean? Right. We're dying over trivial things. But I guess I don't know. Yeah,
and I think this was the only track produced by Kanye West on here.
Yeah, I think you are right.
And I mean, it wasn't my favorite track. And actually, when I heard at the concert that the album would be called The Cool, I was like, you know, I would rather he have picked another song to make his second album about. But I mean, The Cool didn't disappoint at all. But I kind of agree with you. I like the reverse archaeologist line, and I like how he delivered that too. He was like he's sort of like a reverse archaeologist, where sunshine is his treasure. That's classic Lupe. That's the classic, like, you can't tell. Is he freestyle? It's so natural. I like it. I like it a lot. Hurt Me Soul, great song.
Best song.
When that's
on
like
the album.
That's when you.
If you
I don't agree. Best song. But it's great. It's a turning point song. When I got there, I go, I don't care if Lupe is like farting the last 5. He's made a classic album. Like at Hurt Me Soul, when I heard that, and you had already heard the instrumental, he say, she say, sunshine. Like, when you've already heard this, I go, the album could end. This is a classic. That's what I remember thinking when I heard Hurt Me Soul.
This song gives me chills to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it never, like, the when I hear the song, it's so good that like the effect never changes. It's still like, man, because it's like kind of how I feel, where it's like all these things in the world, and it's like you're powerless to change it. So all you can do is like, so sometimes it feels like all you can do is like feel the pain of other people's struggle, you know?
Yeah.
And then the first verse, Like, you know, where he's like, I ain't trying to be the greatest. I used to hate hip hop because the woman degraded. And it's like even, you know, internally he's conflicted. You know, it's not just the external world that, you know, like even though he does have strong opinions about it, it's just like he can see even in himself, you know, there's that conflict of like what's right and, you know, what should he be glorifying, and, you know, what is cool, should we be glorifying this? I don't know.
Yeah, and when you even his flow, like when you talk about all the different problems in the world, is it the third verse where he's just like going on and on about all of these different problems, and it's kind of like they're just piling up on each other.
Yeah.
And it's like he's almost overwhelmed by it.
I also love that line, like where he's like, I got a ghetto boy bot, Jay-Z boycott, cause he said that he doesn't pray to God, he prays to Gotti. I'm thinking godly, please guide me from the ungodly. Yeah. But like, it's like, I'm like, what? Like, oh my God, bro. It's like, it's just like that. Yeah, it's just
I love when rappers do that, when they like quote classic albums, because that's from Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
And so it's like you see them that they're hip hop fans, but they're not just passive consumers of hip hop. Because that was something that I thought of too, but I never thought to articulate that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Or sometimes there are these conversations that you have, and I love when the artists kind of put that on a track.
Well, that's the other thing too, because like part of what makes this song cool is he's talking about, you know, his relationship to hip hop and how it relates to him, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy. And then he goes back to this bigger picture of like all these like problems that are just frustrating. Like it's just like a perfect, like it's like the perfect song for me.
It's a great song.
And like the hook is just like so impassionate, and it's just like you can feel the pain that, you know, like the unfortunate nature of things cause on him.
And it's not because oftentimes when people are preachy, they're saying, I'm better than you, get like me. It's the ultimate like cockiness.
It's not
like and this one is not like he's experiencing pain.
Yeah, like most of the verses deal with the fact that he's trying to fix these problems, but he's internally conflicted, and maybe even breaking his own value set to like be where he is now. Like that's so crazy of like, you know what I mean? And he doesn't say any of that, you know what I mean? You just infer it from the story, like of it. Like it's just.
You didn't have a lot of this coming out at that time, right? It was kind of, at least from my perspective, you know, as an older teenager, it was like you had materialistic gangster rap. Yeah. Then you had the conscious down for the cause rap. Yeah. And it was like you kind of had to pick. Yeah. Right? Especially like with Christian rap. Yeah. It was like you were a Christian rapper or you were making songs for the strip club. That was it. And like this song is more of like a human who's rapping.
But you see, it's also too, it's like the backpack era was coming up on the internet too. It was kind of weird. Yeah. So it was like you had a lot of the empirical, miracle, lyrical, like you know, rappers, and this isn't that. Like
it's not that.
It's not that at all.
Oh, I'm saying you had like you've always had a strong underground scene, but before the internet, where people could really broadcast that. Yeah. To have a song like this being put out by someone, you know, who's got albums in the store. Yeah. You know, major release. Yes, it's a great song. One of my favorites, definitely. Pressure. Jay-Z. Featuring Jay-Z. Now I like this song. I don't know. Maybe I was behind. This album, I think, came out in September of 2006. Kingdom Come would come out in November of 2006. Yeah. And Jay-Z was doing verses here and there. Yeah. He had a verse with UGK. He had a cup. He just kind of tried to hog. Was it Memphis Bleak? He had that on Memphis Bleak's album. He came out. He was on the second track, Dear Summer, right, which is like the best track. And it's Memphis Bleak's album. But anyway, so Jay-Z's still kind of rapping, but he's retired.
Yeah.
This was the first time, because on this song, Lupe says, and Big Homie's out of retirement.
Yeah,
That's when I was like, wait, Jay-Z's out of retirement? I missed Jay-Z. I wanted Jay-Z to come back, and it was this, like, this, for me, this was the announcement that Jay-Z was coming back.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that is something that was
said.
On
that was the first time I heard it. Maybe.
Yeah, no.
First time I heard it. Big Homie's out of. And I was like, maybe Lupe's messing with us.
No, I mean that seems to be what it is.
Jay-Z at this time, since Jay-Z had retired, you kind of missed. At least me, if you're a Jay-Z fan, you missed hearing Jay-Z rap. So he could give you like 12 bars, and they didn't even have to be that good. But it was just the fact that Jay-Z was rapping, and if you were a Jay-Z fan at this time, you enjoyed it. So like, and he even ends his verse, he's like, through. And I don't even know if it's a 16 or a 12. It's not as long as, it's not as much as Lupe's rapping. I know he's featured, but it kind of felt short, but it was like short and sweet, which was kind of what Jay-Z was doing at the time. So I liked his verse.
It's like, this song, like, is really kind of like the outlier, because it's like the only like real like feature like verse, you know what I mean? Everything else is just like hooks and stuff, unless actually Gemini was earlier, but we're gonna ignore that. Like, so it's like his famous guest like star, but I feel like this is like the only song on here that is like literally about nothing. Like it's like, it's not bad or anything, but it's just like
great. Like, oh my bad, I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, that's cool. The only line that really stands out to me in this is like, "You're the first ones that said oil and water don't mix. Now you're all down at the beast,
washing off the fish."
Yeah.
Really, and this is before the 2010 oil spill, but there have been other oil spills. Yeah. Obviously. I also like what he said. He talks about his jeans.
Oh yeah.
Because and he said he's like, they want me to wear Prince pants.
Yeah.
And he says I like them a little big in the waist. I like that.
Didn't he also bring up jeans on "I Got You"? Like.
Yeah. I think he did. That. But so he's talking about, I like that because it was like, because me, I always like a pair of jeans that fit nice.
Yeah.
And like hip hop's gone from like super baggy to now skin tight. And I like a little big in the waist. Yeah. Just a little, you know. I want to sit down, I want to breathe. I like that line with it. But I mean, this is great production. This may be one of the whole album has great production, but this you hear kind of the live instrumentation really well in this one. American Terrorist, definitely a great song, similar to Hurt Me Soul in message. Not as good as Hurt Me Soul, still great though. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah, I think like the most memorable line is like where he's like the poor Ku Klux man see that we all brothers, cause things the same, cause we like the same color, and that's grain. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I don't know. I really appreciate this song, and also like, not that we've gotten over terrorism, but I feel like, you know, at the time, like, terrorism was so, you know, like front page and center, and still is really. We've never like been able to like separate terrorism from the Middle East since 9/11, you know what I mean? It's like, and that idea that, you know, like America, you know, you can view a lot of like, you know, like there's groups in America who do terrorism, you know what I mean? But there's also, you can see like the state's action, you know, as being like akin to terrorism, you know what I mean? From a different perspective, and that, you know what I mean? I feel like that's still an important message, you know what I mean? That we can't like categorize these people as like not people because they're terrorists, right? Like terrorist has just become this term to like dehumanize, you know what I mean? It's like almost as bad as some like World War II propaganda type thing. It's like, oh, they're Japanese, which means we can do whatever we want to them, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot to that song. Yeah. And what's the kind of the bridge at the end? I don't want to quote it because I don't have it
The more
memorized.
money that they make, the more money that they take.
Or where he's like, give the black man.
Give the black man. Give the black man.
You might have to
Oh my goodness.
pull it up, but yeah.
You mean if you gotta,
Hold on.
can do it. Give the black man food, bring the red man liquor.
Yeah.
Red man food.
Yeah, that's it.
But I don't know what the black man gets.
Glocks and things.
Give the red man crab slot machines. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Like, it's a critical view of America, and we're taught in school that America is just great. Don't give the black man food, give red man liquor, red man fool, black man.
Give yellow man tool, make him railroad builder. Also give him pan, make him pull gold for river. Give black man crack, Glock and thing. Give red man crab slot. And then he just brings it.
And he says it twice.
Yeah. I mean, that was a real.
The way he put that together, what he's describing.
Yeah.
But the way that he, and it's interesting. I'm thinking American terrorist. He got in trouble for calling Obama a terrorist.
The Emperor's soundtrack.
You're gonna kill me. It's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, really?
That one. The Emperor's soundtrack is one of my favorite songs on this album.
I'm trying to remember.
I told you I would come up screaming,
Emperor blow up. I told him I'm so business. I told you the show business.
Meaning the no business. The fiascos and it. Just his flow, the beat. And then he's like, I only fear God. Like, yeah.
Yeah, weakness. Yeah.
This is the song. If you've got something to do, if you've I gotta go to a meeting, job interview, put this song on. And this, that one and He Say, She Say. Those two are my favorite tracks. But this one, great placement in the album. And not, this isn't a great story. This isn't even that lyrical. But just, it's one of them triumphant, I'm going to go conquer the world songs.
Yeah, it's a good song for me. But it never was that next level.
You think it's just a placeholder, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's a good song. It's a great song, but it's just it never is the song. If I had to pick one song off this album, it's never the one that I pick.
Kick Push 2 is next. Kick Push 2 is better than Kick Push, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's also weird how it goes from the story, telling a story about continuing, I guess.
Yeah.
To talking about him and the song being released and the video. It's an interesting little thing. Finally, the outro is just a long ass outro that he shouts out everyone.
I liked it better than just something on the inside flap of the CD.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't skip that track, so it's it's just there's not much that can be said.
When you do something that is as great as Food and Liquor, then you have an outro where you're just let me breathe for a second. At this point, this is just a victory lap. This is a victory lap out the outro. This is a great album to listen to and think about 2006, where everybody was walking around saying Lil Wayne was the best rapper alive. This is before Lupe Fiasco is one of the most respected MCs in the game. So absolutely, you can think if you put this in and the expectations, what are your expectations?
Yeah.
You don't know that you're going to listen to one of the classic albums. I think that for me personally, man, this is top 5 album. This is a top 5 album, and I think just objectively, just if I had, you rank MCs, if I had to submit this to Rolling Stone or whatever, I think it's top 10 albums of all time, objectively.
Yeah, for me, just personally, it's in my personal top 5 albums, period. He really stole it from me, as I was literally about to say just that statement. I can't overhype this, how good this album is, you know what I mean? If you like hip-hop, even if you don't like hip-hop, you're very likely to enjoy this album. It's great on a lot of levels, and the lyrics are interesting enough that 10 years later you're still gonna want to listen to this album. So I think that's what makes it a classic, and I'd like to thank YT.
Appreciate it, man.
For coming on.
And I hope you invite me back.
Yeah, do you have anything you want to plug or promote?
I've got a show on Thursday, but there's no way this comes out before Thursday. So, yeah, I'll be I'm working on a project called The Prospectus, a 10-track. I'll just call it a project. I don't call it, an EP or anything, but it's called The Prospectus. And it'll be coming out soon, just as soon as I can get it done.
Okay. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. More of these coming out soon, hopefully. If you like it, rate, comment, subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for an album that you'd like me or anyone else in Tallahassee to review, just leave it in the comments and I will do my best to review it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man.